Welcome back to the Keto Bistro. So today I'm going to make chicken tortilla soup and can some. You'll notice that the last several videos are soup, chili videos of that type. I'm preparing for winter. I'm canning, so I'm making lots of brothy soups that will be easy grab and goes. Avocado oil, so I'm going to use a tablespoon of avocado oil. I have some chopped up peppers and onion, so a half of a sweet onion and half of a bell pepper. So I'm going to get those started first. Okay, so medium-high heat. Those are coming along nicely. Now I'm not going to cook them all the way down till they're caramelized, just starting to tenderize. And then I'm going to add some seasoning so I have some time. So I'm going to add a teaspoon. Then I have my own taco seasoning, which is, I'm going to add a teaspoon of the taco seasoning, salt, and then to add spice, I really like the Tony's Chachere's more spice seasoning. I use it for most everything that I want to add a little spice to. So I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of that. So after that, I'm going to add 1 can whole peeled tomatoes with the juice. Now you will get, this is about 14 carbs, but the whole cans have a little less carbs than the other. Just make sure when you're getting your tomatoes that you check the servings in the can, because some cans will say 3.5, some will say 7 servings in a can, even though it's the same size. So I will cook this down a little bit because I don't want my tomatoes to be too chunky. I'm just smashing and releasing the juice and breaking the tomatoes apart. So I'll do this for approximately 3 to 4 minutes while it cooks. Okay, so I have that incorporated and the tomatoes chopped well. So the next thing I'm going to add is the chicken broth. Whoops. So I have a 48-ounce box. Now the next ingredient are black soybeans. So I've been adding these to my chili, and I've usually been using 1/3 to 1/2 can. If you drain them, the carb count goes down a little bit, but on the back it used to say that 1 serving was 1 carb. So they have changed the label if you look on their website. So the whole can has around 17.5. Of course, if you drain it, it will drop it a little bit lower. I'm not sure how much. Usually on the back of the cans, it will tell you that. So I'm still going to count it as around 17. So I'm going to add the whole can. If you have fresh, you can use fresh jalapenos. I'm using a few from just a jar. And I'm actually going to use some of the pickled juice as well. Okay, the last ingredient, your pulled chicken. This is almost a pound, little less, close to maybe 7/8. Now it's the same cost to go ahead and get it pulled like this than it is for me to buy the chicken and cook it. So I'm going to cover it and increase the heat to medium-high until it comes to a boil. Once it comes to a boil, I will turn it down to low or simmer and leave it cooking for 30 minutes. Okay, soup is done. So I'm gonna let it sit there while I prep everything to get the canner going. And it's really just a Instapot pressure canner that has a canning feature. Okay, I'm finishing up filling up 4 pints. I already ate a large bowl. So I'm gonna can these 4, and that'll leave me with a couple of bowls still left. So that gives me 4, 5, around 8, 7, 8 large bowls. 42 carbs, so around 5 or 6 carbs per large pint of soup. So I have a napkin with vinegar. I'm just going to make sure that the top of the jars are clean. So I have my rack on the bottom so the jars are not sitting directly on the bottom. 2 to 3 inches of water in the bottom before I place the jars in. I'm going to tighten it just fingertip tight, not too tight. So then I'll just place them right into the pressure canner. Close it according to specification. Make sure your pressure, the valve, air valve is airtight. I'm going to pressurize it and do pressure canning for 1 hour. That's it. So when I come back, I will take them out. Of course, you know, release the valve. Let it release all the way before you open it. I have a towel here that I'm going to place the jars on, and the reason I do that is to keep them from cracking. Once again, they're going to be very, very hot, so you don't want to put them on anything that's cool. Just the quick temperature difference may cause cracking in the jars. So just release the valve and let it depressurize. So it didn't take long because I already let it sit and cool. So I'm just going to take the jars out and set them on the towel that's ready for it. There you have it. They're still bubbling hot. I will let these sit overnight. Thanks for watching. Please join us again on the Keto Bistro.